I just bought me a mic. I think I
The
can.
Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
I think I can use it without um, using this Bluetooth speaker. Anyway, let me turn down this echo because I don't really like the echo. All right, so while I'm still learning, you see how it has the little flashy lights and everything. Yes. So how's everybody doing today? As you can see, today we're talking about my new Janet Jackson single, and we're talking about Shanice and Flex. So, for those of you guys who don't know, Shanice used to be a big singer back in the 90s. She was like what you call one of those wholesome females, and she never hid her Christian beliefs. So, you always knew that when you ran across Shanice, that you know she was the type of person that she tend to hold up her Christian beliefs. She, stood up for her morals and her values. And for a lot of people, it was kind of hard, you know, to hook up with her. Okay, but I'm sure she had many boyfriends in the past, so we're not gonna talk about that right now. But she was definitely an example and a role model to young teenage girls that if you decided to become a singer, you don't have to lose your morals and values just to make it in Hollywood or make it in the music industry. Nowadays, that's kind of rare to find anybody who could be successful, who has morals and some values. Um, as you can see that I changed my hair, uh, kind of changed up my style. I'm getting older, so I'm not trying to, look like I did back in the day when I was younger. But I still do these commentaries, reviews, live podcasts, which is something that I'm going into. So with that being said, all right, let's get into the whole detail. Shanice, as I said, was a 90s singer. And when I looked at her, it seemed like she kind of emulated herself after a lot of people from Motown, possibly even the Jackson family or Whitney Houston. Now, when I look at the history of Shanice, Shanice was from Pennsylvania. Okay, that's what her bio says. Now, somebody who really knows her may have other places that she's been to and more in detail, but Shanice came from a place called Pennsylvania. Okay, and she actually came from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At least that's where it claims that she's from. So, based upon the research that I did, that any of you guys can fact check, um, she had went on a show that was similar to American Idol, but it was called Star Search. And basically, what Star Search was a show where you had different people that would go on Star Search and they would compete for a chance to win money and a prize is ultimately getting a record contract. So Shanice was on there, and it ended up opening the doors to her singing career. Okay. For those of you guys who want to find out if she won or not, feel free to look up Star Search. Shanice, I'm not going that deep into it. But one of the things that Shanice is known for is she had a song called I Love Your Smile. That was like one of the first memorable songs that we know of. Now, because, I haven't done all the licenses to play certain songs without the artist's permission, I'm going to
Power off.
I'm going to actually. Oh man, the microphone just went out. Hold on, guys. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. All right, I think we're back on. Let's see if this stays. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, 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 testing. I just got this, guys, so forgive me. Testing, testing. Let me see if I can do it with the USB. Testing, testing, one, two, three. 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 Testing, 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 testing. All right, guys. So I'm gonna have to actually charge this mic right quick because it's not gonna let me um, do what I need to do. So I gotta actually charge this. So I hope you guys liked my mic. I'm gonna try to talk a little bit louder. But anyway, Shanice was born in Pennsylvania. Sorry about the distractions at this time. Let me charge this. Hold up, I'll be right back. So anyway, so she had a song. It's called "I Love Your Smile," and it was a very catchy tune. I love your smile. I'm sure you guys remember that one. Then she had another one that she had that it's called "It's For You," and it was off the Meteor Man soundtrack. If you don't know about Meteor Man, it was like a superhero movie that was done by Robert Townsend. So anyway, Shanice was a person. She did this, you know, this era, 90s era of different songs that she was well known for. And she ended up taking her career from Pennsylvania to Los Angeles. Okay. So mind you, she's from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And for some reason in her career, she ends up moving all the way out here to Los Angeles, California. So can you believe that you were born in Pittsburgh, but somehow your journey leads you to LA so that you can find the love of your life? Okay. So I know in Pittsburgh it's not hard to find a love interest. Okay. I know in Pennsylvania it's not hard to find a love interest. I know these things. But it is, however, difficult when God has a calling upon your life. Okay. Now, you guys know I don't believe in religion. Okay. I have my reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But I don't believe in religion anymore. I used to. You called me 3, 4 years ago. I might have been like gung ho, you know, Jesus freak. But I don't believe in religion. I believe in spirituality. I believe there's a God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in, the dark side. But I don't believe in religion. Okay. I do believe in spirituality. But when God has a calling on your life, you're going to go where he goes. Okay. And literally, I found stories about like Bobby Womack, who was homeless in LA. And I mean, you don't have to be in LA to be homeless, but like Bobby Womack, I ran across somebody on YouTube who just did a story that, you know, Bobby Womack was homeless in the streets, and some female just like found him and doctored him up, and he now is doing good in life. So anyway, not to sidetrack, but Flex was a comedian, okay, and he was from New York. So you have Flex, who was a comedian, and you have Shanice, which if you don't know who Shanice looks like, I'm gonna make her picture a little bit better. That's what Shanice looks like in real life, okay, or at least when she's doctored up. So you have Shanice Wilson, who ends up going on Star Search. Eventually, she leads her life to Los Angeles, and this is where she starts to build up shop. Okay, mind you, she had her church. So, can you imagine? Here you are, a Christian, going to a church, and you're a Christian woman. Not quite naturally, you're gonna go to church, right? So, she's going to her own church, and somehow she and the comedian Flex end up moving into the same apartment building. So he comes from the East Coast, which is like the New York area. She's from Philadelphia. I'm sorry, she's from Philadelphia. I'm sorry, Pennsylvania, not Philadelphia. She's from Pennsylvania, and they had to move to LA to find each other. And you can't tell me that's not God. That is only God. Like, if you look on the map where Pennsylvania is, Pennsylvania is only a hop, skip, and a jump to New York. So, I mean, like, literally, if her parents had hopped in a car and was like, let's go to New York, she might have actually found Flex. But instead, she didn't find Flex in New York. She found Flex in LA. So both of them go from basically the East Coast to the West Coast to find each other. And that's crazy. And not only was Flex a comedian, there was a hit show that was kind of familiar in the 90s, and it was called One on One. Okay. And some of you guys know the female actress, I think her name is Kyra Pratt. She played on that show One on One. Okay. And if you don't know what Flex looks like, this is what Flex looks like in person. That's what he looks like. And I'm sitting here like, wow. Okay. Now understand that if you saw Flex back in the 90s, you thought he had it together. Like, you really thought in his head everything was going smooth because he was a comedian. He was always making people laugh. He impersonated some of the most famous people, and that's what made him famous. And then when he got on the show One on One, you thought, wow, you know. But understand that Shanice had made enough records that she really didn't have to work for a while. She was a teen idol, early, young adulthood. She was making money. So by the time she met Flex, pretty much she could have been making money and not working a regular job because she probably invested and she probably utilized, like most people, when you get a certain age and you age out, the music, you start doing things like tours or stuff like that. And even if you're not doing a tour, you do speaking engagements and etc. etc. So when she met Flex, Flex was more like a particular person that I would compare to an up and coming or rising star. In other words, he's been on some shows. You didn't heard a little bit of his stuff, but he really wasn't popping yet. And when he came up with the sitcom, first of all, I didn't even know One on One was created by Flex. So I was surprised that show was created by a black man that back in those days in Hollywood, it was just like almost unheard of to get a black, part that wasn't the stereotypical gangster or prostitute, you know. So for him to create a show and be young and a black actor, and it was promoting morals and values and just real life situations that did not have to deal with thug life. That right there said a lot. Okay. So anyway, he ends up going through a downward spiral in which he lost his brother. And he lost his brother to a terrible disease that's called AIDS. Okay. And he felt guilty because his brother tried to say goodbye to him. And you know how you're young, you're busy, you're trying to get your career. You're like, I'll talk to that fool later. No, there was no later. When his brother had called, that was going to be the last time that Flex would ever be able to talk to his brother alive. And so he harbored those feelings. And even though he was making people laugh on the outside, he was like hurting on the inside. And he had a rough childhood, like many of us. You know, he lost his dad through violence when he was young. So it's like a lot building up. And you wouldn't expect a dude like Flex to pull a female like Shanice. Like not like it's just like how people say, how the hell did Jay-Z pull Beyonce? Like that's just some stuff you wouldn't expect, you know. But same thing with Flex. Shanice, you mean like schoolgirl, Christian girl, Shanice? You're saying that? Get out of here, bruh. Get out of here. And so, as fate would have it, one day they're in their apartment building and they get stuck into an elevator. And they're in an elevator, they're going wherever they're going. And this is what sparks this whole relationship. Like they meet in the elevator. And so he, you know, naturally, like any man, hey, you know, what's your number? You know? And, you know, he not gonna lie. Yeah, he knew who Shanice was. But he was, you know, Shanice was like, either you like Shanice or you don't. You know, you either like Janet Jackson or you like Beyonce. If you don't like Beyonce, you like Rihanna. If you don't like Rihanna, you like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. And they once understand Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are rappers, and Janet Jackson and Rihanna and Beyonce are singers. So I don't know why you would choose, because it rap and singing, whatever. But I'm saying that's the way it was, you know? So it wasn't like he was hooking up with Shanice to help his career. In fact, he made it evident that's not why he asked her out. But he was like, you know, he seen her and he just had to make that move. So I'm not gonna say that Shanice had shrugged him off, but he was a brother that just didn't have it together. Like, oh my gosh. If you think about the typical LA girl. Now understand Shanice is not the typical LA girl. Shanice is just a female from Pennsylvania that was in LA, which is probably why he was able to get her attention. But if you think about the typical LA girl, he ain't got no job, he ain't got no Beamer or no Mercedes, he ain't got no money. What's his credit score looking like? He ain't got this, he ain't got that. She got a whole list of he ain't got. So because he ain't got it, she ain't talking to him. But you know, he was making rent, doing little side hustles. And when I say side hustles, that means he had a job, because he just didn't, you know, he was up and coming. You know, he didn't land that gig yet. So eventually Shanice agrees to hook up on a date with him. And they go out on a date wherever they went. And over the couple of weeks, Shanice is like telling Flex, well, I've been praying for my soulmate. And, you know, Flex is like, you know, I understand the brother. I really do understand what he was saying. I understand where he was coming from. I really do understand this brother. But Flex was like, I'm like taking this female out. What's the odds of me finding Shanice, who's from Pennsylvania, and I'm from the East Coast, and we moved to LA in the same complex? What is the odds of that? Understand, Flex knew God. Flex is similar to me. He understands Jesus. He understands God, but he just wasn't going to church. So, for this Christian girl to think she about to hook up with a church man, that just wasn't in the cards. But it was something that she did to his life that made him go back to church. And it wasn't, he didn't do the old, player, hey, let me go to your church. No, he went and found a church that he liked. So he goes in church, he gives his life back to God, and he actually invites Shanice to his church. He's like, basically, hey, will you go to church? And that's the way it's supposed to be. If you gonna date a Christian girl, she should invite you to your church and vice versa. But I guess he was like, okay, I'm gonna invite you to his church. She invited him to her church. I mean, to his church. I apologize about that. But the moral to the story is, he says that it was Shanice who got a nudge from God. So Flex had already told Shanice, you've been praying for your soulmate, and I think your soulmate is right staring you dead in your eyes, and you don't recognize it, and something's wrong. So, naturally, like females, I could just imagine a Christian female. Why the hell is God gonna send me some non-Christian person? But you have to realize in the Word of God, it says that if a man believes or a woman believes and they gave their life to God, in other words, they have a relationship with the Lord, then it's all that you need in a marriage for it to be successful. So your husband or your wife doesn't have to be saved. As long as you're saved, the marriage is covered by the blood of Jesus. And that's just the way it is. So, you know, yeah, he might not have had it together at that time. Yeah, his life might not have been all storybook as she would have liked, but it's 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 some things that people don't understand. Only a man or a woman can fix in your life. That's why when you see a brother, he always angry all the time. And like, the first like a pimp would say, you need to get laid, bro. Like for real. Like, no, there is just too much anger in you right now. Cause he knowing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that he necessarily saying that that person needs to get laid. He's basically saying you need a woman. But a pimp is gonna say you need to get laid, but your homeboy might be like, I got somebody I'm about to hook you up with. You know what I'm saying? Just basically to get your mind in a certain mode. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a woman. When you see a woman hook up with somebody that's for them, you see their personality like calm down, it fizzles or whatever. And I know you guys know how I feel about relationships. I don't do relationships. I say for now on, unless it's sent by God, nope, 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 nope. And I got confirmation yesterday. And I got confirmation yesterday that I need to remain on this journey. Not because I'm doing something bad, but because I I have seen so many messages on YouTube about when a female is sent by the devil, okay? Or when your mate is sent by the devil. And I'll pay attention to them signs. I pay attention to like wisdom that people share. I listen to so much because I could tell when the Lord is trying to tell me something or the universe is speaking to me. But in this case, This was a relationship that was sent and designed by God. It was like a divine couple. And this divine couple would not be who they were if it wasn't for Shanice and her Christian beliefs. And she probably did start sharing the word of God. But you have to understand when you share the word of God, you can't be a person that judges, because that might be an angel in disguise, and all they need is you. In other words, the Lord had to put him or her in your life so that you can have the blessings that he wants you to have. And when he gave his life, when Flex gave his life to the Lord, one of the sermons it was called Ghetto Engagements. Okay. And basically, you know how people who, I'm not gonna say they're ghetto, but you know how you hear it's uncommon for people to say they get married these days. Y'all know it. I'm not saying something that nobody knows. It's uncommon to hear a young person, even when they've been dating for 5 years or about to hit 30, it is uncommon for them to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get married. To hear to if they do get married, it's because they like, well, we didn't have 5 kids together. I know this fool, yada yada yada. So, we might as well. We done done everything. We living together and everything. We done everything. So we might as well just go and seal the knot. And that's usually what happens. You know, it was a you know, it was a prophecy that an ex-girlfriend, she's dead now. Understand, my last girlfriend had AIDS. Okay. And understand that the whole Gina 2 situation and stuff, it's a lot of stuff that you guys know. Y'all starting to see. I don't be lying about a lot of stuff that I'm talking about. Okay. But my last girlfriend had full blown AIDS. Okay. And I do know it's possible. I know it's possible to have a relationship with somebody who has AIDS, actually have sex with them, and you don't have AIDS. I do know that's possible. You know what I'm saying? Now you could say the Lord was looking out for you. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I cannot explain that except for it's God. Okay. But I had two people tell me prophecies, right? And one of the persons said that she said that I'm gonna run into a wife that's gonna kill me. And my ex-girlfriend, she used to say, she was like, leave that. She was like, I know you so in love with that person. I know you infatuated with that person. Please leave that person alone because she's gonna kill you. And I'll be like, how you know she don't even like me like that? And she was like, no, I'm telling you, she like my this is understand this is my ex-girlfriend. Like can you imagine you in a relationship? Like, and understand that the female who had AIDS, because she had AIDS, she started to fall in love with me. And I was like I was mad at her when she told me she had AIDS. I was like, just the way she did it. I was like, all right, whatever, I'm cool. I got over it. I really did. But I'm saying, she used to tell me prophecy. She would be like, that girl you messing with is gonna kill you. I'm telling you, she's gonna kill you. Like your body is gonna be found dead. And she was like, I'm gonna pray for you. She was like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna pray for you because I know that woman is gonna kill you. She's gonna really kill you. And then it's like I asked for confirmation. And I did. I asked for confirmation for the Lord. I have been praying. And the Lord just says, wait on God. You know what I'm saying? The Lord says, wait on God. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever happens, let it happen and wait on God. You know? But back to Shanice and Flex. When you're in divine relationships, Some people call it your destiny. Your destiny could be negative or positive. Like if my ex-wife actually does kill me, all right, cool. She like I said, she has videos basically hinting that she's gonna kill me and I'm gonna die of a terrible death. I'm like, as fat as my ass is, the hell you want to kill me for? Like, she's a fucking porn star. What do you want to kill me for? Like, you got like you screwing like 1,000 different guys, and ain't none of them man enough to stand up to you. And what the hell you want to kill me for? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got my answer yesterday. I got the answer that I needed. And I knew that was you. I knew that was him. I don't mean you. I knew it was God who gave me the answer. And understand that when God gives a person an answer, you have a divine, like I said, it's your destiny. You can't run away from your destiny. Okay. I was dating my ex-wife in the state of Texas, okay? And she's in California. How the hell do you know what I'm saying? That's destiny. But when it comes to Shanice and Flex, same thing. That's a divine couple. So, needs to say, they listened to what the pastor was saying. And it was Flex who decided, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and I'm gonna ask Shanice to marry me. Like, okay, cool. Like, like I feel like she's my angel that the Lord sent to me, and that she accepts me and all my bullshit. So basically, I'm gonna ask this woman to marry me. So he asked her to marry him, and as we know, you will ever hardly see Shanice without Flex. You know, they were, I mean, picture perfect couple. And let me see if I can find a picture. This is a picture of them together. I mean, look at this couple. They're like so beautiful. It's like they were made for each other, you know? And understand, I know sometimes people, they always think, well, I come from something, or I got a hidden meaning. I say this, and I, I'm a try to say this as much as possible. I don't want a female to lose her life because she decides she wants to take a chance and love me. Understand, I got a crazy ex-wife, okay? And she is a off her rocker ex-wife, okay? Understand that, you know? I got a crazy ex-wife, okay? Crazy ex-wife. Hold on 1 second. And y'all used to hear me all the time. I would tell you, she's a freaking porn star, you know? But she is off her rocker, you know? And I don't know if she's off her rocker because society has put it in her mind that she can do certain things and get away with it. I don't know. Okay. I honestly don't know. But this, that's what my ex wife looks like. And that's the only picture that I could show you because she barely takes any pictures with clothes on. But when I met my ex wife, this is what she looked like. When I met her, that's what she looked like. She don't look like no porn star. She looked like an everyday, you know, Christian value female. But oh no, I married the wife from hell, literally. That like got videos talking about how she gonna kill me. I understand. I never have put my hands on her. I have never done anything wrong to her. I don't know if she just hates black people. I don't know if she just hates me because I left, but the reason why I left because she was saying some crazy stuff to me. Like I'm like, dude, you should hear have you heard some of the crazy? Like I think that girl. I'm like, dude, she need to go get some psychiatric counseling because something wrong with this female. I'm sorry, but you can't tell anybody things because a man thinks with his dick, and if a man thinks with his dick, that's all he's gonna see is that. Oh, she looks beautiful. Oh, she looks good. And you know, when I prayed to the Lord, I said, the only female that can deal, and I do mean the only type of female that can deal with the bullshit I'm going through, other than me, is a female sent from God. And because for my ex girlfriend to say that she trusts me with her life, understand this is a woman who got my ex girlfriend had me in court, and for her to actually tell somebody, I don't fear for my life around this person. I'm that go to show you that I'm not lying about this female. And understand when you have a divine relationship, there are females who are sent by God that will cover you in the blood. That a lot of stuff that you probably would have experienced with somebody else did not happen because she's an angel that came in your life. Okay? It didn't happen because of her. You got to give props where props is due. And understand that sometimes you get a female, she can turn the most worst, like you think you going through it. You be like, whatever. Like I hate life. You on that I hate life tip. And God will send the angel your way. And you be like, nah. Like, how do I say? Y'all seen the movie Baby Boy, right? With Tyrese Gibson. And y'all seen the movie Jason Lyrics. I know I'm showing my age, but y'all remember how Baby Boy was? Y'all remember how Jason Lyric is? Okay, Jason Lyric was so close to my life right now. Okay, if you don't know what Jason Lyric was about, Jason Lyric was a movie that had Jada Pinkett and this other dude. I forgot what his name was, but it was Jada Pinkett was one of the main stars in the movie, and she played a female called Lyric. Okay, and Lyric had ended up dating this dude who was named Jason, but Jason had this criminal brother. I mean, like he like the type of brother that messes your, like if you was trying to be a cop, if you was trying to be a lawyer, if you was trying to do anything positive in your life, it's like his brother was that dude. Like it's like Jason was like, I'm nothing like my brother. I'm just trying to do right in life. And it's like people was coming at him. And so Lyric was like, you know, I know you're not like your brother. And if you want to really have a fighting chance at doing something positive with your life, you're going to have to leave this place. So they set out, and that's what the movie is about, that they eventually they become one and they start packing up their stuff and they end up, finding a place to live in another area. So they decide they're gonna settle their lives in a different area. And one of the creations from Jason Lyric, you guys probably know, you will know by Black Man United. That's one of the things that's very that people remember more than the movie Jason Lyric. And it goes, you will know, You will know that song. So anyway, a lot of people remember that more than Jason Lyric. But before he can get out of town, his brother got upset. And his brother grew upset because he felt like Jason had the blessings. Like he was the person who was the favorite. And he tried to use his brother's, blessings in life to blame him for why he had a criminal behavior. Understand, his brother did nothing to him. Okay, it was just that this young man was attracted to the darkness of the streets, and so he ends up doing something. I don't know if he killed somebody or whatever in Jason Lyric, but more to the story is basically ends where he's probably going to end up getting locked up for life if the police catch up to this dude, that he was gonna get locked up for life. So because the brother, who I forgot what his name was, is played by some actor. Let me look it up. Jason Lyric. All right, so it's Bokeem Woodbine. Bokeem Woodbine is the brother. Alan Payne is Jason. So it's Jason and Joshua. That's their characters. So Joshua is the criminal. Jason is more like the good son. And so Joshua, when he learns that he might actually do 20 years to the rest of his life in prison, he wants to blame his brother for his problems. Oh, mama treated you better than me. No, that's not what it was. It was more like Jason just knew how to behave, and Joshua just always wanted to challenge his mama. And naturally, you gon' he reaped his blessings. Not that it was a favoritism type of thing. And so because Joshua finally decides he's gonna go after Jason to stop him from leaving with Lyric to move out of town, Jason has to do the most unspeakable thing, and he ends up taking his brother's life. And that's basically how it ends. That he takes his life, he takes his brother's life. Lyric knows that it hurts because he Jason literally had to choose between Lyric's life and his brother because his brother tried to rape Lyric, and he just was like, it's not going down, and he ends up taking Joshua's life. Now, most things don't end that way. Okay. Same thing with Baby Boy. Baby Boy, same thing. Somebody wanted to hurt, her ex-boyfriend that was in prison, got out of jail, and then he was giving Tyrese bad time, and the dude who was in jail, who's a brother, was Snoop. And he had to make a moral decision. So with that being said, the moral to both of these movies is a lot like Shanice and Flex. I believe that Shanice was the angel in Flex's life. And that if Flex didn't grow wise enough to actually date Shanice, his life probably wouldn't be how it is. Understand, the minute that he started dating her, his acting career took off, and he was able to provide for his family. And his acting career didn't take off because he was dating Shanice. In fact, Shanice wanted to stay in the shadows so that nobody could say that Flex was getting movie roles or sitcoms because of Shanice. No, when he finally admitted to dating Shanice, it was after his career was doing good. But again, when it comes to divine couples, understand you can't run away from God, you know. And as I stated, a lot of people sometimes they think, oh, I have hidden meetings. No, I don't have hidden meetings. You know, it's a story that I ran across that I thought was beautiful because it shows you the power of God that two people had to move from another state to LA to find each other. And so, for me, with my confirmation, I I believe that there's a higher power. And if I do die by the hands of my ex-wife, I die by the hands of my ex-wife. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's either my ex-girlfriend was going to be telling the truth when she said my ex-wife is going to try to kill me, or my brother Anthony is going to be telling the truth when he says your wife is going to die because of you. Like, in other words, maybe she's going to come after me, and somebody I don't see who has not appeared yet might jack her behind up. I don't know. I don't know. But you guys know I've died before, so I'm not afraid of death. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my problems that I'm going through now is because of her. And as I showed you a picture of her, when I met her, she looked like somebody you would take to church. No way in hell did I think I was dating a porn star. And I never seen her movies until somebody, basically approached me who knew she was a porn star. So with that being said, let's move on to the next topic. As you know, I'm gonna be having my new single, and that's the Janet Jackson single. Now, this made my day. There's a female, her name is Kelly Carter. And Kelly Carter had designed this picture. Now, I'm gonna go and do some investigation and see if this is an original picture of Janet. Because I have never seen this picture before of Janet, and I'm trying to figure out how she got it. So I'm going through the images and I'm looking at different pictures of Janet. And I'm like, well, maybe she went through the images and she picked up this picture that was old. But understand that the picture that I got, I've never seen this picture of Janet. I've seen many pictures of Janet. It's not like I would sit there and watch Janet 24/7, but I'm saying I never saw this one. But I know it's the real Janet Jackson, but I'm trying to figure out how this designer got it because this ain't the one I gave her. But I'm happy with the results, don't get me wrong. And I'm going through it, going through it, going through it. Nope, no Janet. Not the one I got. Nope. So let me try one more. Janet Jackson control. I'm gonna do the control because if this picture is gonna come up, it's gonna come up around this time. Now understand the pictures that she have, it look like her right now. Like that, the one that she did is similar to this. But in all the pictures that I have of Janet Jackson, I've never seen this picture. So when I seen it, I was like, well, I know that's Janet Jackson, but I'm like, okay, that's not the one I gave her. And I can understand because maybe it's a copyright or something on it. But I'm like, okay, I don't see this picture. So with that being said, I'm gonna show you the design that was done for my Janet Jackson single. I'm trying to do this like close up so you can see like the details. As you can see, it looked like this picture looked like a picture of Janet like at her house or at her parents' house. Like, have you ever seen like Never Neverland or something like that? But they did like the Jackson, like Catherine Jackson never lived at Never Neverland. It's another house. It's like Hurston. I forgot what the name of the house was. But I'm looking like that looked like she was at her house. So I'm like, did I just get an old picture of Janet Jackson that has never been released? I mean, it really looks like a picture of Janet Jackson that has never been released. So I've been searching for the past hour, trying to see if I can find this picture somewhere. There, I don't see this photo. So I'm sitting back scratching my head, and I'm like, do this female know Janet Jackson? Like, even if she don't know Janet Jackson, do she know somebody who know Janet Jackson? Because I'm like, I'm sitting there like, I gave her a picture, right? And you know how Hollywood be doing some crazy stuff, but I'm like, nah, because y'all remember when I first started, and I was like, yeah, I, I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to speak on it, but this picture that I got right now of Janet Jackson, this is not one of her pictures. Like, how do I say this? How do I say this? Like, it's not. If I was going to go look for pictures of Janet Jackson, this ain't on social media. This is her pictures. I don't know how this. I don't know how Kelly got Janet's pictures, but it's like when I hate this, it's it's crazy because this was the concept that I gave the designer. I said, I want you to design me thinking about Janet Jackson, right? So when you see this picture, it's like the opposite. It's like, okay, it's like Janet Jackson thinking about me kind of deal. Like you see my name, you see her. I'm like, this. I'm gonna say this. Thank you very much to Miss Kelly Carter for designing my album cover. Okay, I appreciate. I don't ask no questions. I appreciate what you did. Um, y'all know I love Janet Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like I woke up on Monday and saw the real Janet Jackson like on Monday. And for this to be Saturday, like understand, I woke up on Monday on my way to work, saw the real Janet Jackson, not no fake Janet Jackson. I saw the real Janet Jackson in her entourage on Monday on my way to work. And here it is Saturday, and I got a picture of Janet Jackson that is unreleased, like you're not gonna find on social media. I I'm like blown away. Like the only thing that could top this is to make a music video, and it's like it ends with like can you imagine you just make a music video and you're like, oh my gosh, Janet is in my video though. Oh my gosh, I got a video with Janet Jackson. No, like that would just top my day. Like for real. Like that's like the only thing you can do. You feel me? So I want to say thank you to Kelly Carter for making this this cover of Janet Jackson. And then I definitely want to say if Janet Jackson, pulled some strings and gave me an unreleased picture as a way of saying thank you for writing that song, I want you to know I thank you. I thank you for creating rappers and singers like me who are very creative, who have always been some of your number one fans. And, you know, shout out to you because you paved the way for so many people. And, there would be no Beyonce if it wasn't for no Janet. And I hope that, you know, there would be no Rihanna if there wasn't no Janet. So, I hope that people give you your flowers while you're alive. Get off that diva mode you know, sit here and give love the way we used to amongst divas and not be going back and forth beefing. Not saying that you got beef with anybody, but I'm saying thank you. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So with that being said, go check out my soon to be on the radio, Janet Jackson single. I'm gonna say peace and I'm out. Bye guys.